not one incident. So it was everyday problem where we don't know how much time they're using, where they're using. So that was the main reason we came up with this.
Yeah. Sir, if you would like to share.
Yeah, there are multiple advantages of this app. It tells you where the child is at any given point of time, when the child has left the school, when the child is coming home, where they are. For instance, Sashi's daughter now is in the US, and I see her sending requests saying, can I have 1 hour of YouTube time? And he's able to regulate that and know the control that he has over the fact that she's going to be using it only for 1 hour. These are the features of the app, but the reason the app came into existence in the first place is half covered in what I've said in my talk, but more importantly, that I see the level of engagement of teenagers and their parents becoming lesser and lesser. You know, the child is so technologically advanced. मतलब हिंदी में भी अगर मैं बोलूँ, तो जो हिंदी के माँ बाप हैं, जो सिर्फ हिंदी बोलते हैं बेचारे, उनको तो लगता है कि उनके बच्चे के खुद को कंट्रोल है ही नहीं, क्योंकि वो समझ ही नहीं पा रहे कि उनके बच्चे कर क्या रहे हैं। और वो, आजकल आपको पता है कि इंस्टाग्राम रील जो सभी लोग बनाते हैं, 1 सेकंड में सब स्टार्स इंस्टाग्राम और सोशल मीडिया के स्टार बन जाते हैं, और उतनी ही जल्दी उनको उनका चड्डी उतार कर बदनाम किया जाता है। सो ये सारी चीज़ें जब किसी टीनेजर के साथ होता है तो उसके दिमागी हालत पे बहुत फर्क पड़ता है, और वो अजीब तरीके से बिहेव करना शुरू करेंगे, और उनको उस स्थिति से वापस नॉर्मलिटी में लाने के लिए बहुत टाइम लगता है। तो वहाँ पहुँचने ही क्यों नहीं? अगर आपका मान लीजिए बच्चा 4 या 5 साल का है, उसके पास एक स्मार्टफोन है, और आपको पता है कि ये ऐप उसमें लगा हुआ, तो उस बच्चे को पता भी नहीं कि आप रेगुलेट कर रहे हो, तो उसके लिए तो ये आदत सी बन जाएगी कि भाई ये चीज़ें यहीं पे काम करेंगी, यही हमारा रूल है, इसके अलावा कोई रूल नहीं है, तो वो उसके लिए लड़ेगा भी नहीं, और आपको अपने टीनेजर उनके लाइफ में थोड़ी बहुत कंट्रोल मिलने की पूरी शक्यता है।
सर, यहाँ पे बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स होंगे जिनको ये पता चलेगा कि ये ऐप है, लेकिन क्या उनके लिए इतना इजी होगा ये ऐप डाउनलोड करके खुद पहले समझें कि किस तरीके से रेगुलेट करना चाहिए, और फिर वो उसको फिर रेगुलेट करें, और फिर बाद में वो बच्चा है वो तो बोलेगा इतने टाइम से हमारे को फ्रीडम दी थी, सडनली उसकी फ्रीडम चली गई, तो वो बच्चा हमारे से लड़ेगा। और बच्चे तो हमसे ज़्यादा होशियार होते हैं पेरेंट्स से, वो आके आपके फ़ोन को हैक करके आपको ही ब्लॉक कर देगा, ऐसे भी हो सकता है।
बहुत अच्छा सवाल है। उनका कहना ये है कि हम बच्चे को कैसे, बच्चे इतने स्मार्ट हैं कि वो साला हमारा फ़ोन को हैक करके उसी में हमको ब्लॉक कर लें। इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में हमने सोचा, हम भी कच्चे खिलाड़ी नहीं हैं। तो अगर आपके बेटे या बच्चे ने इस ऐप को डिलीट करने की कोशिश की, तो वो तब तक नहीं डिलीट कर पाएगा जब तक वो अपने माँ बाप से वो OTP नहीं ले लेता, उसके बगैर वो डिलीट नहीं कर पाएगा। अगर वो VPN यूज़ करता है तो उसका पूरा फ़ोन ही ब्लॉक हो जाएगा। तो जब तक वो आपके पास आके वापस नहीं बोलेगा तब तक वो फ़ोन चलेगा नहीं। जो भी ऐप्स हमने डिफ़ाइन किया है या आपने डिफ़ाइन किया है, वो ऐप्स जब तक वो एरिया में नहीं है वो ब्लॉक्ड ही रहेंगे। तो हम नहीं समझते कि 4-5 साल के बच्चे ये सब कर पाएंगे, पर 8-9-10 साल के जो बच्चे हैं उनकी काबिलियत ये है कि ये सब कोशिश करें। जहाँ तक मेरा सवाल है, जहाँ तक मुझे पता है, वो इसको साइड ट्रैक नहीं कर पाएंगे। दूसरी बात ये है कि ये ऐप तो पूरा इंडिया में पेरेंट्स के लिए फ्री है, उसमें इन ऐप परचेसेस बाद में होंगे, बट ये फ्री है। सेकेंडली, ये हमारे लिए ज़रूरी है कि माँ बाप ये आसानी से समझ लें। तो ऐप को यूज़ करना बहुत ही आसान है, बहुत ही सिंपल है। उसके साथ हम वीडियोस भी दे देंगे उनको समझाने के लिए, पर मुझे भी लगता है कि आज के माँ बाप भी मोबाइल फ़ोन जनरेशन के ही हैं, उनको ये बहुत आसानी से समझ में आ जाएगा। एंड आई होप दैट इट इज़ हेल्पफुल टू देम।
हेलो सर, नमस्कार।
नमस्कार
सर, क्वेश्चन ये है कि बच्चे का स्क्रीन टाइम बढ़ते जा रहा है, अभी तक के छोटे बच्चे भी हैं, कॉलेज वाले बच्चे, स्क्रीन टाइम क्या पेरेंट जिन्हीं के स्क्रीन टाइम घटाएंगे? दूसरे पेरेंट जिन्हीं ऐप है, क्या बच्चे को ग्राउंड पे ले जाएंगे? तो मैक्सिमम बच्चे सब घर पे गेम खेलते हैं, ग्राउंड तो जाना भूल ही गए।
बिल्कुल सही कहा।
एक तो अच्छी बात है कि ऐप अभी फ्री है, तो क्या गांव में भी सबको इजीली में अवेलेबल होगा?
जी हाँ, ये हर एक के लिए जो आज स्मार्टफोन यूज़ करना चाहता है। हम तो चाहते हैं कि अब इसको हिंदी में भी हम ऐप को लॉन्च करें, ताकि भाषा अगर आप बदल सको तो हिंदी में भी इस ऐप को आप यूज़ कर पाएँ। लेकिन आपका सवाल बहुत सही है कि क्या ये बच्चों को ग्राउंड में जाने के लिए मजबूर करेगा। देखिए, थोड़ी बहुत गलती तो हम माँ बापों के भी है, हम पेरेंट्स भी थोड़ी बहुत जो है बदमाशी कर लेते हैं कि हमको अगर और कोई काम करना होता है तो बेटे के हाथ में स्क्रीन थमा के हम चले जाते हैं कि कम से कम ये हमको तंग नहीं करेगा। तो मुझे लगता है पेरेंट्स जीनी आपको भी मजबूर करेगा कि एक बेटर पेरेंट बने, सो दैट यू ऑल्सो स्पेंड एंड टेक एन एफर्ट टू Spend time with your kids, that's also very important. So if the child wants to go to the ground, then you should be able to take it to the ground. Spend that much time with the person. So I think that once the app is downloaded, I think it will help parents also be better parents. Can we have some light on the audience? Or there's no light, or maybe the all lights on was there. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Parshi. First of all, congratulations, sir, for coming up with such an amazing app. I just have one question. Like, we are talking about the screen time, which is great. Like, we can reduce the screen time. But do we also have a check on the kind of content they are consuming? So, do we have something there as well? And the second question, I'm sorry. The second question is there is a way that we can also reduce the boredom? Like, okay, fine, 30 minutes ka time diya. You're okay to surf the internet, or for that matter any social media. But after that, is there a way we can engage them in something else so that they don't go through that anxiety that okay, now there is nothing in my life, so they don't come to that thing? So I have these two questions.
So first question, we cannot control the content, but we can block the harmful sites and also limit the usage of some of the apps. That way you indirectly control the content. And second, what was the question? Second one?
I'll answer that. See if you can answer that. So what he's saying is, it's almost illegal for us to try and find out which sites they're visiting. Okay, that won't be allowed even through the phone. But we can always block all the harmful sites from the very beginning. So there's no connection to those sites. That's the answer to the first question that Sashi was saying. The second question is, how do we stop the boredom? I'll give you please sit down. It's going to be a slightly longer answer. I had the good fortune of being an exchange student in Canada, and I went to a small town. I don't want to name the town because what I'm going to say next is scandalous. But I was in a small town, and I lived with cowboys, and that happened to be the teenage pregnancy capital of that country. Maximum number of teenage pregnancies at that time. And that is also largely because it is a very cold place. In winter there was hardly anything to do. So I think deprivation of activity was probably one of the reasons, sadly. In that small village, I lived with a family who had 5 teenagers. And their teenagers did not get into any trouble whatsoever at all. Nor were they involved in any scandal, nor were they drinking. They seemed to be like very normal Indian kids, if I may say so. So I remember going and asking their parents after 20 years, when I met them there, I'm still in touch with the family. I said, how did you manage to keep your children sanitized from this insanity that was happening in this small town? Because it seemed like normal. Parents were okay with their daughters or sons becoming parents when they're 14 or 15 years old. That's how bad it was. So they said only one thing. They said it was completely our responsibility to make sure that the child did not have any free time till he was 12 years old. No free time. It went from school to activity to activity to activity to activity. Not forcing the child, but whatever the child liked to do. You want to go to coding classes, you want to go to classes where they're teaching about video games, you want to go to classes about how they want to learn the musical instrument, just increasing the profile of the child from when he's 4 years old himself. So this is going to be the responsibility of every parent. You have to understand that the first 10 years are extremely formative for your child. I'm sure you had compulsions because both the parents have to work, or you have to leave the child in the crash, or whatever. But despite that, whatever time you want to get and spend with the child in keeping its activity level high, you know that the child has the ability to apply himself to the job at hand. So going from activity to activity becomes a part of their lives when they start early. They're not going to complain. If you start at the age of 10, they're like, oh, what is that? I need free time, I need to sleep, whatever. But when they start early, you condition that from 4 years, you just have to sacrifice 6 years of your life for the sake of your child. That is little sacrifice for the rest of their lives. The child stays healthy mentally and physically. Take them to cricket classes, basketball classes, no matter whether they become professionals or not, but their interests will keep changing. Take them to art classes, take them what classes, just make sure they're engaged one way or the other till it comes. Maybe they have 1 hour of free time, but when it comes to dinner, you have dinner, they're exhausted, they go to sleep. This, I think, has to be a basic routine for every child between the age group of 6 to 11. After that, this becomes normal for them and they don't complain. But yeah, if boredom sets in, then they're going to fight with you for screen time.
There is one point I'll add to this question. So there is parent Geenee, right? So Geenee is the parent, so who can grant wishes. So what I do in the last 3 months, the product is live in my house too, is I give them a 45 minutes puzzle, or I give them a 1 hour time to do some activity, and then say, once you do that, I'll grant you wish. So I'll grant you 30 minutes wish if you do that. So that means I'm engaging them for an hour of some activity and then giving them a credit with 30 minutes of YouTube. So, another way to do it.
Sir, I am Mehul Dani from FinTech Biz News. Can you please elaborate on your business model? How would you generate revenue? When you say it is free, available, it is at present freely available. So, are you looking at some partnerships, some collaborations with any educational institutions or so? Second question is that it appears that you are more focused on preventive measures. What about curative measures, like are you linking to some counselors, to physiotherapists, or psychologists or something, or are you giving some links to lodge complaint against XYZ website as a follow-up measure? Are you giving some curative help, follow-up measures? Thank you.
So,
Very good question, sir. Very good. Thank you.
So the app is free for everyone to download. So because we want to make it like that, and then we want everyone to use it because we want everyone to see the benefit. When you want to use it exorbitant, like have more devices, more locations and more activities, then you upgrade. So that's our business model, right? So, and to answer your other questions, we are already working with institutions. We have onboarded Doon School, we have onboarded Allen Institute, so we have onboarded multiple. We are also working with the government on taking it across states and central. So hopefully that happens. To answer your second question, we are also working with multiple psychologists for this particular product itself. For example, we recently had an event, Dr. CRS, who is actually a chief psychologist in Tamil Nadu. He is one of the key advisors for us as well. So we are talking to them, we are actively working with them to implement features that will actually benefit. For example, if you see, we can only grant wish for one app for 15 minutes or 30 minutes. So which is a key factor for anxiety, stress, because you are moving to multiple apps at the same time and then going from here to there, and they get a message from Snapchat, they click that. So you do multiple activities, that's when you get anxiety and stress. So we do only one for 15 minutes or 30 minutes. But we are not partnered yet with any of the psychologist groups to go to the next level of it. That is in our future plan. So we are going to do more and more on it.
But that in fact, your question had such amazing suggestions that we might just take it up and include half of that as future features. Thank you very much. Yes, last question.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, this is Rohit Raghuvanshi. I'm a YouTube content creator. So we all know about Vedant. We are so proud of him. So I just want to ask to the Madhavan sir that being a parent, what kind of a digital habits he acquired when he was in his younger age, what kind of content he has consumed, so that he got an inspiration and he took that particular path and he is a very best man right now. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words. As a parent, I'm happy with all that Vedant has managed to achieve, both for himself and the sake of the country. But I'm also extremely nervous because he's got fame at a much younger age, and it becomes addictive to be recognized and praised so much. And I hope that he can cross boundaries, get used to the fact that this fame is very short-lived until he's able to create more excitement and records and achieve greater heights. So that's going to be, as a parent, my fear all the time. And I think my mother still fears for me, saying, "Pata nahi, itna famous ho gaya, abhi sab aaram se nikal jaya," And so as a parent, I'm still afraid that, hope he doesn't make a mistake, hope he doesn't get used to the fame and adulation, hope he swims as hard. And you cannot take that fear off from any parent. I wish I had something like parent Geenee when Vedant was growing up, because it would have made my life much more easier, for sure. Because I knew very well by the time he was 8 years old that he's far more technologically qualified than I am. He'll be playing Fortnite on the iPad, and the iPad will get stuck when I'm trying to use it, and I'm trying to, unlock it or try to sort it out. He knows that I can't do it. He's watching a program, he'll just take the iPad from me, not even look at me, he'll do this and give it back to me, and the iPad will start working. It used to be very insulting. And like, how dare you do something like that, But they're technologically so advanced. So I wish I had something like parent Geenee when he was growing up. But thankfully for me, brother, swimming is such a demanding profession that he has to get up at 4 every morning. Because he was interested in swimming, I didn't have to worry about him going to sleep at 8 in the evening. So that when he slept at 8 o'clock, automatically half the troubles in the world got over, because anything that has to go wrong goes wrong in teenagers only after 10 o'clock at night. So that bit, he was, and also because being an athlete, he was not inclined towards substances that is not good for his body. So no alcohol, no tobacco, no wrong food, no sugary stuff, no colored stuff, because for a fine-tuned athlete's body, it becomes very easy to identify which food did not suit you. Because when your body is, because the victory margins are in microseconds, the body has to be completely primed. It's like a primed engine. और उसमें थोड़ा सा गलत fuel डालो तो कर लेता है वो. Same thing happens with a child's body or an athlete's body. The moment you put in something wrong, the body immediately reacts and says that's not good for me. So because he was an athlete, we knew कि भैया ये cotton candy नहीं खा सकता because वो color is not right for you, और ये gem नहीं खा सकता because it's not right for you. So I was happy. We probably include features like this in Parent Geenee in times to come. But right now, as a Parent Geenee, we want to only provide as basic promises that we have made efficiently so that it runs without a hitch. And then, like you said, we will add a few more features and make it even more effective and efficient for the parents to handle. Okay, last question.
One more question? Yes, one last question.
Haji.
Hi. Congratulations for Parent Geenee, and I'm so happy to see you. This year. I just want to ask you that we as a parent always tell kids, ye mat karo, wo mat karo, and I have seen you, not as an actor but as a mentor more, because in any event you go, you give such a beautiful speech and everything. I get inspired. And I want to know, how did you condition your kid? Because condition your kid's mind that you are such a mentor कि आप बार-बार उसको बोलते हो, अरे ये मत करो, ऐसे मत करो. How you worked? I want to know.
I promise you that I am as bad a parent or good a parent as anybody else. Okay, I have made my mistakes. It's just that because my life experiences are such that I pretend to be so wise when I give a talk, but as far as the parent is concerned, maybe उतना ही बुद्धू. And it's a fact, because every child is built differently. Every child's conditioning is different. So sometimes your approach has to be depending on how the child's conditioning is. So the only thing, if I have to give you, the only thing that I realized and I inculcated was that I didn't treat Vedant as a kid from when he was 4 years old. I started having a conversation with him like an adult, a normal adult. So I would ask his opinion. If his opinion was right, I would do that. So I never talked to him like, oh, that never happened. He used to look at me like, aapko ho kya gaya hai? At the age of 4. So when they have the ability to actually behave like adults, so it's better to even talk to them as adults. So I say, hey, what do you think? Is this good? Should we pay so much for this? Do you think this is the right thing? How do you think I should react to somebody when they complain about you being a naughty child in school? He's like, he will look at me and he knows that I'm actually valuing his opinion. तो वो 4 साल से अपने आप को एडल्ट समझने लगा. अपना बचकानी हरकत करता था, पर उसको पता चला कि जब वो बात करता है तो मैं उसकी बातों को सुनता हूँ और उसको एडल्ट की तरह ट्रीट करता हूँ. And therefore maybe I had a better communication channel with him. That is the only thing that I have done different from what I think other parents do. But apart from that, I'm as bad a parent as anybody else. But thank you for your kind words. Thank you.
Lot of content we see along with our family on OTT. Government is doing some steps with regard to controversial content on OTT. Do you have any suggestions for government to act upon certain observations? Thank you.
I'm going to try and answer the first question, which is, do you want to answer the first question? I think there are 1.4 billion people in India, and if you say that out of that, let us say half of that are parents, then I hope that many download happens, which is good for our business. But as a company and as a person, I've always believed in doing well by doing good. It's a line that has always stuck with me. So if I have to indulge in a business where I'm trying to make money, and I want to do well in it, but I also want to do good at the same time. So this app falls absolutely in that category. I'm not selling something that is harmful for the body, or I'm not selling something that is, in my opinion, not right for society. In fact, we are incurring the wrath of teenagers because they're saying, "Aisa app kyun introduce karoge? Humko aaram se jeene de doge kya?" So, but I still believe that this is the right app for me. Second question is, as far as regulations on OTT is concerned, this app has the ability to just block the apps completely that are not child-friendly. So, being influenced by something on OTT is not what, as a parent, I'm afraid of. The second question that you're asking me is whether I have a suggestion for the government right now will become the highlight of the interview if I give an answer to that. And that does not, help me solve the problem of spending so much money and calling you all here and trying to promote my ads. So thank you for that trap, but very sweet of you.